Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Solo Supreme, and I want to preface this video by stating that I actually think the update for Stellaris is passable, to say the least. And I would like to also mention that I first originally recorded this video like early in the morning when I had just gotten up, so I am going to be kind of rambling through parts of it. So, oops, sorry about that, but I, generally hit upon the points I'm like trying to make in the game. But yeah, just to add some preface to it, there will be some times where I like use the wrong terms and such for like certain things, so don't go too hard on me on that. And also the fact that I've had played the update for about a total of, I would say, 13 hours if I check my Steam thing. So I don't know like if I'm missing anything else or overlooking some stuff, but generally speaking, I'm not at the mid game or even close to like the end game crisis point. And also, I would like to state that there are features that I probably missed and overlooked. So because I haven't played it for like pretty much more than a day, the update, the 2.0 or the 2.02 update, I played it for just about 13 hours. So, I'll make some genuine mistakes in the video, as you'll probably hear, but I do feel as though I get the main points I want to make across. So I hope you guys at least enjoy the video and, you can see my opinion on the subject. So with that said, enjoy. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's me, Solo Supreme, and I'm bringing to you something I've been doing for the past couple days. So today it is March 30th, Friday, March 30th, and for the past few days I've actually been playing some Stellaris and some RimWorld, which are probably going to be some new games I feature on the channel, but uh I've been kind of busy lately because I'm currently like in the process of getting a new job right now, and also I've been, just fiddling around with other projects, which is why most of my channel ain't full of these fancy new games, these whippersnappers playing, such as Far Cry 5 and all that good stuff. But I hope to get around to those soon. But yeah, I've been playing Stellaris for the past few days in RimWorld, and reason for that is because last week I had finished recording all like the final episodes of Belligerent Brazil, and later on today, that is, the episode should be uploaded. And what a spectacular campaign that was. So, a few days ago, I downloaded the beta patch for Stellaris, the 2.02 update, which should be fully releasing soon. If it hasn't been released already, I haven't been kept up to date on it. And I've been playing around. I've been like, fiddling around with how like this new system is like working out, such as like the star fortresses and all this fancy doodads with the star base, the fleet managers and all this stuff, which I actually think the fleet manager was pretty neat, though I have been having some issues with it because of like glitchy crap like this, where if I boost it up, now it'll go reinforced, but if not, it just stays like this. I'm not sure if that's a glitch or what, but it's just one of those things that's just been minorly annoying me. And I'm just gonna use this video to just talk about this update. So let me zoom out on the map and I'm gonna show you the problem. Do you see it? I mean, you may not see it, or you probably will, but do you see the problem I am currently faced with right now? Now, here's the problem if you don't know. I'm already too powerful in this game, and I'm still in what's considered like the early game, still the early game setup, and I'm pretty much the most powerful nation in here. Now you might be saying, oh, that's just because that's the way you play and all that stuff. Well, here's the thing. I I had no idea like what I was doing early on until I like figured out, oh, okay, so now I have to use like construction ships, and then influence now is to like spread the claims to different systems. As you can see, like right here, the star bases like expands your borders and whatnot. And here's something like I've been dealing with. So my nation, the glorious Shikari Imperium. Let me see here. Our governing ethics is fanatic, authoritarian, and militarist. And fanatic authoritarian gives like a +1 monthly influence. So I started the game with roughly like +4 influence points like per month. And then when the faction came about, let's see if I can bring up this faction. This one, the One Throne group, it like boosted that up again to like 6. But recently this new faction came about, and you know, they kind of messed up that flow. But yes, at what like pretty much not too long ago, probably like a few in-game months ago, I was generating like 6 monthly influence like per turn, like just over 6. And that like caused me to like expand rapidly. As you can see, like I still have like influence stored up, and I have like construction ships right now that are scheduled to like, you know, spread more outposts out here, like right after they're done like over here in this region. And once they're done with like these mining stations, I usually just send them to like continue building. I am currently playing with about 21 AI empires, but on top of that, on the new update, they also had the ability to increase the number of primitive civilizations. And instead of just leaving it at the like, I think 1.25 or 1.5 times primitive civilizations, I can't remember what it starts with, I did double, because I like to like see what's going on with the primitive civilizations, like, you know, the nuclear war events and that pseudo XCOM event is like funny to me. And you know, I wasn't expecting this many to pop up. I have, as you can see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7. Oh wait, yeah, 7 total primitive civilizations I'm spying on. I all have them on unrestricted because who cares, and I'm generating a crap ton of society research every month, and it's only going to get larger because I'm currently expanding throughout this arm, as I've been kind of blocked off up here because of these two guys and these genocidal people out here. But I am just going to be continue to expand down here, and frankly, when I get to this point, that's when like straight warfare is going to happen to me. Now, I have already declared one war in this game, and that was over the blah 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 union down here. And as you can see, this is also bugged out too, because it says currently I'm at war with them. I'm not. And you know, I just have that -50 thing permanently slapped on there, so I'm not gonna really complain. But you know, I'm just hoping Star-Lord's is subject and the trust kind of offsets it a little bit. It may take a while, but I'm not sure. And I have a protectorate of primitives that gained space flight on their own, and once they saw me win that glorious war, they just decided to flip over to my team. Now, the issue is, I feel as though this update, it slowed the pace down of the game, but it also in a way kind of made it more strategically interesting, but at the same time boring to me. A little bit boring. It's not something like that super boring, like, oh my god, this game is so long and so drawn out, I don't want to play this. Like, no, to me this game feels more like, what's a good example, like Civilization, and like how I felt about Civilization 5. I used to like pretty much one of the first, yeah, Civilization was like pretty much the only turn-based strategy game I've ever played. It wasn't the first strategy game I ever played. I mean, like, very first strategy game I ever played was like Command & Conquer Red Alert on PlayStation 1. Holla! But I felt that this reminded me so much of like how I transitioned from Civilization Revolution. That was the first Civ game I ever played on the consoles. Don't judge me. But I played that and then moved on to Civilization 5, and I did not like how, in a way, it kind of punished me for wanting to use the military to, you know, expand my nation. I know it's just like a way to set up for balance, because like if like, you know, it's just simple to just take over something than to like, you know, worry about growing your economics and stuff. Like you just take over a nation or parts of some city states and say, oh, well, now I have enough money and income to fund more armies who will like in turn be larger and more powerful than my neighbor's army. And like, let's see. Here, I'm gonna go to some of my neighbors. Their fleet power, technology level, all that, like, is either inferior to us, like they're inferior to us, they're inferior to us. They're inferior to us. They're inferior to us. Oh yeah, I also turned off like advanced AI start. I just wanted to see like, you know, how it played out first before I did any of that. But yeah, they're inferior to us. Like, oh, these guys are equivalent, but pretty much they're inferior to us. It's mostly because they have like. Here's the thing. I think they kind of made it so it's better to play with less AI empires. I'm playing on huge maps like right now. This is like the 1,000-star map. And like, you see these guys right here? These guys are probably going to do well for themselves as long as there's nothing here. There may be stuff here. We're not too sure yet. And there's also 2 fallen empires, which I don't think I've met. Let me Actually, they'll be better on here. Nope. Yes. So I haven't met the fallen empires yet, but there are 2 fallen empires somewhere around here in like some of this empty space. But see, these guys start out in a decent position. They have room to expand, apparently. I can't account for up here or down here, but you know, let's just give it the benefit of the doubt and say they're kind of free. They have room to expand and colonize multiple worlds. Same thing with these guys. These guys have been room to expand. It seems that if you start out in a good position, you can get room to expand and do whatnot. But also, they made it so that small empires can also handle large empire, like, you know, when it comes to warfare, due to just the ability to upgrade your star bases and the star holds. So you don't necessarily need to like control systems to expand your army and like, you know, your naval fleet, because it used to be that per planet you would have a starport, and with that you just increase the size of your navy overall. Here you just have the star bases, which removes the need for like the starport, even though they still exist. They just mostly for what, like I think like construction ships, yeah, construction, science and colony ships. And this game is all about, it's like, here, what would be the best way I could describe it? It's like the colonization rush in Victoria 2. That's how I see it. It's basically like, if you're the first to build up like, you know, influence, all you have to do is get a couple of construction ships and start building. Early on, the economy sucks. Like when the game first starts, your economy is complete crap for like at least the first decade or so. But once, like I started out right here, but once you start like getting the areas you need, such as, oh, I need some more energy, get the energy, and then I need some like energy and minerals. You just keep going, like you focus on like the hard currency, like energy credits and minerals. Once you get like a solid base of that going, you can basically start to like, you know, expand your naval force. And then like you just build more construction ships. Once you have like enough energy to support that, like expand the navy and more construction ships, you can just keep going, building up more star base outposts and building up your economy through that. And it seems that that's what I believe the focus on was, to like make players expand economically first. Like it's like to slow them down from like, oh, you don't want someone to be like right here, and then they choose like, I don't know, what are these guys called, the fanatical purifiers? They're like doing that and just committing genocide and taking over all this. And yes, that's the ether Drake there. I almost ran into that bastard, but he's kind of blocking them off. You have all of this going on, but all it really means is like this game is more strategic by saying who puts what where first. Such as this, for instance, this junction right here. I placed the starport, or the little like outpost thing, down right here. This blocked off them from taking it. Well, yeah, you could pretty much say that, and the Ether Drake over here kind of blocked off this empire from taking it. But say they built this outpost right here. This empire built an outpost right here. If they got to this first, if they cut off like close borders to us, I would lose access to this, and then they could expand to right here, and then basically circumvent me by expanding over here and, you know, kind of enveloping me. But, you know, I got here first. I put my outpost down. I got up here. I actually thought I was going to be a little bit home free until like around here, but it seems that this empire kind of like, you know, stuck it out a little bit and got right here. So I was like, damn. But as you can see, my science ships are down here. I have them on like one on auto survey, and I'm just like going boop, 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 boop. And these guys, they would come down here, but here's the thing. They're only building like these guys are only building star bases, or yeah, they're star bases in their colonized systems. They don't have any other star base out here. All of these are like colonized systems, I believe. Let's see, you have a planet. Yeah, they got planets here. But say if they went to here, like right here, it's like a void cloud blocking them. They probably might be scared of it because it's like 1K military power. But if they went through here, boop, took this over, they could easily, like, you know, have the rest of this, or like be competing with me for like this territory. But since they're scared, they're not going to do that. And say once this unit is done like building the mining stations and stuff here, I send it up here to build a star post. They're basically cut off at that point. If I close my borders to them, they won't be able to come down through here and start expanding. And also, I think the AI in here, I think it favors like the contiguous borders, where like the borders are all connected in like a clean fashion. So they won't like say, oh, take this, send a construction ship down here and take it, because like if you, let me give an example. All right, say I want to build an outpost right here. It's 120. Why? It's because it is not connected directly to like somewhere where I have a border. Like none of these two are connected to an immediate border of mine. But if I go right here, it costs 60. So essentially it doubles the score, and it gets like, it increases the farther you go. So it discourages like nations from saying, oh, take this, go over here and take that, and then like leave that alone. And then you have like a situation where entire nation could surround like your one area over here. So I see why they did this, and they did make combat more like focused on tactical choices. But here's another thing I have like an issue with. Wars in here, I don't like them that much anymore. Now, to be fair, I'm gonna have to preface it with that. The war system in Stellaris has always been janky one way or another. I've been playing this game since day one when it first released, because I was so happy. I was like, oh, you get to build your own alien race, commit genocide, and blah, blah, blah. And like in-game crisis, I was like, oh, that sounds so cool. So I played back, like way back when you could have battleships with like the auras on there and basically create an ultra mega super powerful fleet. And I had fun with that. Like I faced my only crisis. I remember, what was it called? The Unbidden at the time. And at that time I literally controlled like half of the galaxy was like all controlled by me. and the Upbending formed on the other half and whatnot. But yeah, fighting them was just like you take one big fleet with another big fleet and smash it together. It's just that day one Stellaris was the player always had like the best optimized fleet. They still do, but like you could really make it optimized by like putting the auras in, which the AI wouldn't do, and you would just crush them. Like I would just go through armies with like barely losing any corvettes even, and would just mop house on anything near me. And then they had like, you know, the one of the past updates, which kind of like, you know, took those away and made the combat more paced. Even though it was generally the same principle, you get like your fleet is bigger than my fleet. The biggest fleet usually has like the highest chance to win, even when it comes to weapons. Like it will only be in like some extreme circumstance where a smaller fleet would be able to win, and that's if like the technological advantage is barely any different from like it's just like almost non-existent. So you'll be fighting on a near level playing field, and if they just had the better weapons and your ships wasn't prepared, like you focus heavily on shields and then they start using like rail guns and stuff, then yeah, you will run into situations where you will lose. Now here I find the combat agonizingly slow because it takes forever, like early on, for like ships to get to where you need to go. Whereas like in the past, where I could be like, okay, one fleet could hang back for a little bit while I send out a main battle fleet to like start engaging the enemy, because like, you know, I would focus, my tech would be like either wormhole, where it's basically like you have this whole entire area to like go about, but let's say I have a wormhole here and I'm right here. Oh, I need to get over here, so I go like whoop boop, and then hop over to a store and go like boop, and I'm there, and like, you know, skip all of this. It may take some time, but like I like travel large distances as like, you know, counterbalance to that. Same thing with warp. Warp, it was like the midway point between wormholes and hyperlanes, which was okay and like fair enough. And hyperlanes, I never really played as them, but after a while when I like started playing in some civs with it, it was kind of okay. I kind of thought it was like not too bad. But here it takes forever, even just to get like a construction ship over to like some places. Now granted, I don't think I have the increased hyperdrive technology researched yet. Oh yes, I do. I recently completed it, but it still takes like some time for the units to get where they have to go, because unlike the other before the pre-update version, like the pre 2.02, where a hyperlane drive could be right here and still travel to this system by going like woo 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 and then go port over here, they have to now physically go from like when they get dropped off right here, physically go from this end to that end of the system to like leave out. And they made that for like combat purposes, I understand, but I feel as though that just like slowed the game down a lot more than I would have liked. And now the game is mostly like a game of checkers in a way. So let's look at this outpost right here. I kind of like built this one a little bit, gave it some like, you know, defense fortresses. Is this still glitched? Okay, it's not glitched. At one point it said it cost me over $3 grand to fix that, but they fixed that the other day. So let's see, I built this up with some defense fortresses, and this is like a junction point. So they like anybody who's trying to get into my territory from down here has to come through this system right here, as you can see from these points. Now say this guy attacks me, like their fleet's more powerful than what it is. Let's just say they'll like just triple the size of it. They come here, take this over. It doesn't destroy the star base, but it just flips it to like under their control until like you come and take it back. It basically serves as like a mini station slash gun port or such. and if you upgrade it properly, ships can actually repair here. So they did make a system where like your ships can repair in enemy territory, which is something they needed for such the longest time, because it used to be annoying fighting a major war, and then like after I clear out like a whole bunch of fleets and systems, my fleet be heavily damaged, and I have to like send one fleet back home and leave one fleet like in a territory somewhat isolated, and possible, like, you know, a possible attack could occur on it. Here they kind of fixed it, but kind of made the problem more bastardized in my opinion. So you take this, it'll flip back, and like, you know, I'm almost certain these once these platforms are gone, they're gone, and you have to rebuild them again. So it'll just be a regular starport. The starport can still, or starbase can still fire at you when you enter the system over here, and you will have to take it back over. And this is going to lead to like another issue I have with the war. The planets only somewhat matter now. The first world I took in this war was like Front Trial. It was a war I fought like a few in-game months or a year ago. So I took this world over. It was like no big deal and stuff. I had to fight this star base in here, and then I fought here to the star base to this world. I immediately moved to the capital and fought their big boy star base they have up here with their fancy doodads and upgrades on there. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry. Had a little bit of some bubbly soda before I started recording, so I'm having a little bit of burp problems. So I took this star base, took over their capital, and what we usually give like a big war score boost in the past, barely gave anything. And I was like, huh? So I went through all their worlds, took over all their worlds. They had no more planets, but the war was like still chugging along. Like it wasn't even like halfway done yet. I was like, why is that the case? Well, the star bases here, they kind of gone for like a way where like EU4, CK2, and Victoria 2, how they like set up their games, where it's like you have to like just siege everything down. Basically, you go over here, boom, destroy this like star base, flip it over. You go here, boom, destroy this star base and flip it over. You go through here, and then eventually the enemy just surrenders. And I'm like, but why? Like, you have all of their worlds captured. Sure, they have like, and pretty much like I had there's actual what do they call these, shipyards and stuff captured as well. Their star bases are somewhat negligible, and I was like just confused at the matter. So they kind of made the wars, in my opinion, a bit more tedious and like more drawn out. It's like, okay, if I send these two fleets, I'm gonna send one down here, one down here, and like, you know, the new way they set up the land combat. Let me see if I can bring this up real quick. There was my alarm a minute ago, but I'm about to wrap this video up shortly. So this is the new land combat screen. As you can see, the land combat defense is mostly like, the reason for defensive armies now will be for like structures and population. So if you had like particular structures, let me see, what I have one right here, like a stronghold, it gives you like increased like defense armies. So now I have more defense armies on the planet and whatnot, so to hold out on the invasions. And the defense armies are basically strong as hell armies, and the assault armies are, in my opinion, weaker than what they used to be. And now you have to build up a significant like fleet. As I learned in the previous war, I had like about a fleet of 6 armies, like 6 or 7 armies going from world to world, and I had indiscriminate bombing on, I believe, what was it? Yes, the indiscriminate bombing on. And what that does is it basically just destroy pops, buildings, and starts damaging the armies heavily. And even then, it still was like, I would drop 6 armies down, they're getting orbitally bombarded, and some of my units will be having issues. And at the same time, you can't just be dogpiling like a whole bunch of soldiers on one another, because now the battle system is kind of changed, or which army fights which army on each side, and it's kind of every which way but loose kind of deal. But right now, what I feel like in this game, I'm basically without equal at this point, save for like the Fallen Empire somewhere around here. Because as you can see, just like look at this, everyone around me is like pathetic or weak. Oh. Hey, what do you know? I just realized this is one of my created races I haven't played yet. Oh wait, I have played them. Oh wait, no, I haven't. That was on a private thing. Oops, but they were like pretty cool. But yeah, as we go through here, we can see like everyone is basically crap compared to me, save for like a couple regimes down here. Yeah, you can speak that bullshit in your own time. Like the only people equivalent to me is mostly just because the naval capacity thing kind of kicks it up. But let's just like assume that they are all just weaker than me, because they honestly are. Like, save for these guys, they immediately formed a defensive pact after that war. It's like one of those things where once you finish a war like of aggression, everyone in the galaxy is like, oh, closed borders, defensive pacts, and then like they open your borders to you like a few months later again. But let's look at these guys, these freaks, these spiritual hippies. I would have, in any other campaign, they would have already been at a pawn of mine. They would have either been slaves, they would have just been enslaved, wiped out, or I would have taken some of their worlds because we share like similar biomes, and I would have been said and done with it. And like I don't care about these guys down here. Like, oh well, blah blah blah, Mr. Spiderface. Like I could just take these guys on. Any other campaign, I would have been gladly just gladly taking these guys on. Here, I just don't feel like putting up with it. It's like, okay, I don't have to worry about this sector because of Ether Drake, and that thing is already like powerful, so I don't gotta worry about like them trying to get through that. But I would have to go from all of this, kind of like, you know, block off this juncture point to make sure like their fleets are blocked off, and then like get the units back together, take over this, and then kill them. Wait, hopefully these guys will send reinforcements up there soon enough. It'll probably take them a while depending on where their fleets are. And then I have to siege the world. The world's down. The siege world thing is boring. It's not as fast as it used to be, and you gotta wait for all that to finish. And once all that finishes, then I have to probably, because of how the war score system is set up now, have to go through this mess, get down here, like go through, like, it would be one thing if I can ignore this and go down here, but from what I've learned in the last war, I can't ignore this, and I have to go like just deal with all of this for all these extra star bases and stuff. And I just kind of find it ridiculous, because it just like makes something that used to be, you know, either or, quick war or fast war, depending on what got involved, the techs it used, the size of fleets, and like all that. Like, I used to have to juggle, like, okay, if I declare war on, like, say, let's give an example, I declare war on him, but he's actually a part of a defensive pact with him, and him, that would make this war possibly a little bit more tedious if like these guys were equivalent or superior to me in tech. And like I would have to worry about this, and then if they had like warp drives or wormholes, they could just like teleport their units across like vast space, and it's like, you know, directly into my territory, which would cause issues. I don't have to worry about that now. I just have to worry about controlling particular points on the map, and then hoping my fleets get there in time, because it seems that if like you get into another situation, like if I'm fighting war on this front, and then say like there's a civilization right here and they decide to fight a war on this front, and I had two fleets, because right now I do have only two fleets and both fleets are engaged in this war, I would have no way of responding to this situation, because for starters, by the time they get here, my fleets, even if I told one to return home, they would probably be right here. Like, I say, okay, they're right here, and then like these guys went from right here to right here. By the time I like will get to have a response to it, my fleet would be right here on this journey to getting over here to like dealing with them. And I kind of find that just like silly because it takes so long for these ships to like get from point A to point B. And I know it's like one of those things where once you get like the better like, you know, hyperdrive text, it'll make it easier and all. Like as you can see, like these jump charge times, jump cooldowns, all that mess, it will make it easier. But I just find it agonizingly slow early on in the game because I can't like be as violent as I want to. So I'm gonna wrap this video up right here, and I just wanted just to make this video just to talk about like some of the little issues I've been having with this new Stellaris update. I still believe the game is fun overall. I still like the game a lot. It's pretty cool, and you know, this is one of the things where they changed like one of the like a major gameplay mechanics that have been around since like early on, like since even the beginning. And I believe that's probably why, like, you know, it's like growing pains. You got to go through with it and then get used to it, and then like, you know, they'll definitely Paradox will definitely make this better in the long run. But I'm just hoping that, you know, they make the combat. One thing I want is really to make the combat a bit more exciting than what it is right now, because it could do a little bit better. It could like help by like, you know, quickening like some of the pace of the game, and instead of getting it to like this, I don't know what to call it, like the late game crawl where all there is left to do is just to fight and stuff, and once you become powerful it's just like the big old like snowball thing where you start small and just get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I just hope, you know, they fix some of the problems. I don't have the Apocalypse DLC that I should mention that, but the Apocalypse DLC, it just adds some flavor to the game and stuff. It's not really like the meat and bones. The meat and bones was with the like 2.0 Shariah update. I don't know how to pronounce it. I call it Shariah and stuff. It's with that update. And like, you know, I'm able to play the update, and so really I kind of have like some idea of what to do and all that good stuff. So I hope you guys like and enjoy this video. Leave a like, comment, subscribe to the channel to see more. And when we return, I don't know, I may start a campaign in here, or I might go to CK2. I'm kind of leaning towards CK2 and EU4 for a little bit, but I'm not sure. And if I do those, I don't think it's going to be like a full campaign. CK2 I might do like a partial campaign, but and EU4 I might do a partial campaign, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna do a full campaign of that because I don't think I have the time lately to be playing it. And also today I'm probably gonna upload a RimWorld video that's similar to this, and I kind of might start like some RimWorld Let's Play for a little bit. I've been playing that just to like, you know, work out the kinks. I still have no idea what the hell I'm doing somewhat in that game, but I'm having like a blast in it. So I hope to see you guys again soon. This is Solo Supreme, and have a spondiferous day. Lord have mercy, I did not believe.
Now this one is pure niceness.